icon Quincy Jones has passed away at the age of 91 years old.
Oh, man.
I mean, you're talking about a great. We bastardized one of Michael Jackson's classics that was collabed up with Quincy Jones on Friday when we did Thriller. This man was probably one of the most prolific musicians back when he was young, and he was traveling the globe with like the Count Basie Orchestra and Frank Sinatra.
Oh, man.
And, of course, all of his work that he's done with people like Patty Austin and like James Ingram and, I mean, of course, Michael Jackson. He's one of the best musical minds that we've had come through the musical industry.
For sure, GOAT, man. And it definitely has been responsible for a lot of the acts that we today all enjoy. And, man, it's just crazy to hear about all this stuff happening now.
It's funny, too, because he had such a relationship with, first of all, his family and everybody was around him when he lost his life. And he his daughter, Kidada, dated Tupac famously, and there have been rumors that have been around Quincy Jones and around his family that had something to do with Pac. Like when Pac first started dating Kidada, there was rumors that he was propositioned in some sort of, induction into Hollywood kind of thing by Quincy. That was never authenticated. And then there was also a rumor that has gotten a lot of heat in the last couple of weeks about Tupac making a comment or some series of comments to Kidada centered around, yo, B, get in the car, you better get your blah, 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 like talking to her a little reckless. And Michael Jackson was there.
Oh.
So this is the rumor that I've heard from 4 different kind of spaces, and I've seen it pop up in the last couple of weeks because podcasters have been talking about where Michael Jackson put his hands on Pac. And they're saying all of the stories are ending with
Michael Jackson put his hands on him?
Pac got his ass whooped by Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson?
So apparently
you tell me he moonwalked him?
Kidada was either talking to some people or not moving the way Pac wanted her to.
Okay.
And this was his girl. So he's talking to his girl in very, very West Coast-ish 90s conversation.
Okay.
Yo, get your... Yeah. And just telling her to get in the car. And Michael, apparently, according to the people who were like present,
he walked up to him and he was like, no, that is so rude. That is so rude.
He's like, you can't talk to her like that. That's because that's his niece.
Yeah.
Because
Quincy
Jones
Quincy
and him have a long-standing relationship.
Family.
So he's like, yo, you can't talk to her like that. And so Pac
not like
said
that. He didn't say
back.
It like that.
I can't do a Michael, but I'm saying, it was like on the Beat It video or like on the Bad. You ain't bad, you ain't nothing. Like he did something like that. But what I'm saying is he basically was like, yo, you can't talk to her like that. And Pac had something greasy to say to him. Now, they said security didn't intervene. So
Tupac definitely has like an entourage.
Well, Michael and Pac were left to kind of squab it out.
Okay.
And they said Michael got the best of Pac.
That's wild to me.
And they say it's because, Michael's from Gary, which Gary has been known to raise some folks that could throw hands, but also he was raised in a family of a lot of abuse.
He was the youngest brother.
He was the youngest brother, so he had to learn how to fight with his brothers, but also had to learn how to take a punch because he was Joe Jackson's baby.
Oh, yeah.
So,
the rumor,
it wasn't really nothing that you could do to me that ain't been done to me during my early days in the Jackson 5. I could take a blow, so
his dad
apparently he won the fight.
Yeah, with the rumors of his dad like beating him when he was younger and stuff like that, and you now say the younger brother thing, I could kind of see it.
I mean, Mike put it according to the story. Mike put his hands on Pac, and they ended up going at it, and they said Pac lost that night.
Man, I wish there was video of this because I just want to see Mike just talking. Hey, Tupac, you don't say that.
Well, now people
Tupac's
are talking about it now. Somebody
that.
just texted out of the 727 said Michael's voice was a lot deeper. Their videos and the high-pitched thing was fake. Now, I don't think it's fake. I think it was part of his range. It helped him, because, when he sang, we tried to sing Thriller, and we was dying.
Oh, yeah,
his voice,
I couldn't get there.
His voice was insanely high. But I have heard some of those conversations when he was talking to people people on the phone, and he was like, "Oh, this girl, let me tell you," and they're like, "Who is that?"
Yeah, he has like a phone voice, like it's like that act voice. I'm not trying to say Mike was all an act, but you know he definitely spoke like soft spoken when he was talking to like the public and people in interviews and things like that. So the people thought that he was nice
With love,
like he was
with love.
He wasn't about that life.
He's always saying with love. Like whenever he had to correct somebody on his band, he would be like, "Hey, can we get a little bit more funky with the bass with love? It's all with love." It's like, I don't.
I just think about that white chick scene when he's like, "Hey, yo, hold my poodle." Like that's what I feel like. Mike came out and was
Mike wasn't gangster. He
Hey,
was
yo,
just,
Tupac.
He was just able. I'm sure he was beatboxing while he was beating up Pac. Like.
We got people saying, "Damn, so MJ got Pac killed."
No,
don't start that
we don't
rumor.
leave that with Puff.
Nah, you don't start that
Yeah,
rumor.
we're not gonna do that. But I will say, anybody out there who's a streamer or just spends time with music, make sure Q's Juke Joint is on your list of things. Back on the Block was good too. Q. To put it in perspective for people who don't know him, because a lot of people moving around this morning might not be of that age, but let me tell you, it was almost like Quincy Jones was that era's DJ Khaled.
Okay.
Because he was able to pull
people together.
Now I'm not
bring
saying
acts.
musical prowess, because Khaled that ain't his thing. Quincy was an arranger, a composer. He was incredible with his pen. And he knew every great musician. That's the Khaled part, where he could pull people to his stuff together. Q's Juke Joint was, my wedding song was the Septiembro, which is from his album, the Brazilian wedding song. And I'm just saying, his music has always been around, my household and stuff. So to lose Quincy Jones, he had a great career at 91 years old. He stuck up for hip hop in so many ways. When hip hop wasn't being really considered as a mainstream thing, he was going into those rappers and saying, "Yo, man, for real, like you guys got something here. It's just like they used to treat us with jazz. Like we weren't allowed to be at the table." And he's like, "So you guys, man, keep going along." And he was in those meetings really screaming out for hip hop artists and stuff like that to be considered, real. So rest in peace and rest in power, Quincy Jones. You are one of the icons, dead at 91 years old.
Orlando and the Freak Show.